Sometimes on this Zeiss SL-130 the diaphragm wheel is squeaky when you turn it. So that needs some lubrication. And in another video we show how we can take the cover off, but it's basically taking these two screws off and screwdriver here, 7mm here, 10mm here, and 7mm while you're holding it with some pliers. So check out that other video if you need to know how to do that. And we take our cover off. We're going to do the right side. And it's squeaky. So this is metal on metal squeak. Looking up close, that squeaky wheel. This is the diaphragm plate right here. And it has a guide on the side. It's a little wheel, well, like a little pulley that the edge of the diaphragm plate rides in. We're going to put a drop of rim oil right on that guide and see if that's going to resolve that squeak. Just a little bit. Let's try it. Hey, it's quiet. So that must have been the problem. This little pulley guide on the diaphragm plate just needed a little bit of lubricant. And just a drop of a thin oil right on there. Let's get a little closer. Just a little drop right there. And that took the squeak away. And while you're in here, if you needed to clean your filters or your slit had some debris in it, now would be a good time to do that if you haven't done it already. And remember, when you're putting your cover back on, as was noted in the notations of the other video, is when you're putting your cover back on and your screws, turn your wheels to make sure that turn your wheels, especially your filter wheel, to make sure it's not dragging when you tighten. So you can move it up and down so that it doesn't make noise also. So in summary, there's no way to really lubricate that little pulley, guide pulley, without taking the cover off. So, not that I know of. So you're going to have to take off the cover. And just remember when you're putting it back on that you're leaving a little bit of space between the knob and the cover. Just a little bit of space so that it doesn't affect it. And before you tighten it, make sure that the filter wheel is not restricted in any way. And when you tighten them, hold them firmly and tighten, but just firm. Don't tighten it too much or you will crack the knobs, and you don't want to do that. So I hope that helps on getting that squeak out. And if you still think there's a little squeak, you might want to put a little bit of thin grease on that pulley. It's got, on this guide, it's got like a little pin that it rotates on. And if the rim oil doesn't last, then put just a slight amount of thin grease on there to make sure it doesn't squeak again.